Good morning, girls. Welcome to our maths class today. We were doing integers and we will continue the same. We'll do the next chapter. We had already finished the first chapter. I hope you have understood what are integers. So, today we will start with the properties of addition of integers. Properties of additions of integers. The first property which is there is that addition is closer in nature. What do we mean by this property? We mean that if a and b, listen carefully, if a and b are two integers, then a plus b is also an integer. Okay, so suppose we take two integers as 12 and 8. Let 12 and 8 be two integers. So if we add it up, 12 plus 8, it will be 20. 20 is also an integer. Have you understood? So if we take two individual integers and we add it up, then the result after addition is also an integer. In the same way, suppose we take two negative integers. Okay, we take minus 12 and minus 8. If we add it up, minus 12 plus minus 8. So this will be minus 20. Minus 20 is also an integer. So this is the first property, closure property, that if we take two integers which are marked as a and b, then if we add it up, the result is also an integer. The next property which we have is the commutative property. Okay. Now, what do we understand by commutative property? Commutative property means that if we have two integers as a and b, they are two separate integers. If we add up a plus b, then that should be equal to b plus a. Okay. If you have two separate integers which are marked as a and b, if you add up a plus b, whatever result you get, that will be equal to b plus a. So, suppose we take two integers as, let two integers be 7 and, I'm just taking these numbers, and minus 12. Okay. So, if we add it up, if we add up 7 plus minus 12, then the result will be minus 5. And if we take the reverse, if we write minus 12 first plus 7, that will also be minus 5. So 7 plus minus 12 will be equal to minus 12 plus 7. This is the commutative property which holds good for addition. This is the second property of addition. The third property is the associative property. What is associative property of addition? Associative property of addition deals with three integers. Suppose we have three integers like a, b and c. Then if we have this, if we first add up a plus b, and to that result, if we add c, the result will be equal to a plus b plus c. That means if we add b plus c first and then add it to a, then the two results will be same. We can check this with three integers. Okay, then I can take any three integers. I can take 6 minus 14, 20. Let these be my three integers. You can take anything, any values to check that whether the associative property holds good or not. So left hand side, this part is called the left hand side. So left hand side, what will I substitute for a? I will substitute 6 plus what is b? Minus 14. I'll put a second bracket because already I've put a first bracket here, plus 20. So what are the values which I have taken for a, b and c? For a I have taken 6, for b I have taken minus 14, and for c I have taken 20. So if I substitute it here, it is 6 plus minus 14 plus 20. So what will be the result? So this part, whatever is there in the bracket, I will first solve. So 6 plus minus 14 is minus 6 plus 20. That means it is basically 20 minus 6. What is 20 minus 6? It is 14. Now if I take the right hand side, which is the right hand side, girls? This is the right hand side. So I will first write what is the value of a. I have taken a as 6. So I have substituted 6 plus what is the value of b? It is minus 14 plus 20. Did you understand? So that is equal to 6 remains as it is. Now this part I will first do. Okay. So that means 20 minus 14. So I think I made a mistake, girls. 6 plus minus 14 is minus 8. So this will be 12. So this will be 6 plus 6. So if I add 6 plus 6, I will get it as 12. So left hand side is equal to right hand side. So this is the associative property, that a plus b, if I first add up, and to that result if I add c, the result will be a plus if I add b plus c together. You can check it up with three numbers. So the three laws which I have first discussed is the closure law, which says that if a and b are the two integers, and if we add it up, a plus b, then the result will also be an integers. The commutative property says that if a plus b, if a and b are two integers and I add up a plus b, the result will be equal to b plus a. The associative property says that if I have three integers as a, b and c, then if I first add a plus b and to that result if I add c, that will be equal to a plus if I add b plus c together. Have you understood? Then I'll move on to the next law. Which is the next law? The next law is the existence of an additive identity. Now, what is an additive identity? Remember that if I have any integer as a, what did I say? I said additive identity. Please write down these in your exercise books. Otherwise, you will have problem. Additive identity. So, if I take any integer as a, any integer, and to that I add 0, then I will get back that integer itself, which is equal to 0 plus a. That means, suppose I take an integer as 7. Okay. So to that, if I add 0, then I will get 7. What is 7? 7 is equal to 0 plus 7. So 0 is called the additive integer. So the integer 0 is the additive integer. That means 0 is the number or the integer. If I add it to any other integer, I get back the same integer. I'm adding it. So if I add 0 to any integer, I get back the same integer. So that integer is called the additive inverse. Additive identity. Now I move on to additive inverse. Now what do we mean by additive inverse? So 0 is the additive identity. Now I move on to additive integer. Now if I have an integer a, there will always be another integer minus a, such that if I add up these two integers, I should get the result as 0. Did you get my point? Listen carefully again. If I have an integer a, then there should be another integer which is minus a, so that if I add up these two integers, I should get the result as 0. So if I have an integer as minus a, the additive inverse of minus a will be plus a. Okay. So if I have, suppose 7 is my integer, then what will be the additive inverse of 7? It will be minus 7. So additive inverse of 7 is minus 7. An additive inverse of minus 7 will be plus 7. Got it? So this is very important. Okay. So additive identity, that's 0. For any value, 0 is the additive identity. Additive inverse means if you have a negative integer, then the additive inverse will be the positive integer of the same value. And if you have a positive integer, the additive inverse will be the negative integer of the same value. Okay, these are the properties of addition of integers. Now, if I move on to the properties of subtraction of integers. So, the properties of subtraction of integers. The first property is the closure property, which also holds good for subtraction. Okay, subtraction. If I do subtraction of integers. So, if I have two integers as a and b, then a minus b will also be an integer. Is also an integer. That means if I have 7 and minus 3 if these are the two integers, any values girls I'm taking, I'm not taking any fixed values. It is not that 7 and minus 3 are the only integers. Okay, any integer if I take. So 7 minus 3 will be 7 plus 3, that is 10, which is also an integer. Okay, but the next law which I had discussed, commutative, does not hold good. Commutative is no. What is commutative? For addition, it is a plus b will be equal to b plus a. But here you will find that if I do a minus b, then that is not equal to b minus a. Suppose I take these same integers. Let 7 and minus 3 be my two integers. So if I see the left hand side, which is a minus b, then it is 7 minus 3, which I have done here. So it is 10. What is right hand side, girls? It is b minus a. That means minus 3 minus 7 will be equal to minus 10. So it is not same. 10 and minus 10 are not same integers. So it does not hold good. That means subtraction is not commutative. Okay. In the same way, it is not associative under subtraction. Associative law will not hold good. So suppose I take three integers. What is associative law? If you remember that if we have a plus b in bracket plus c will be equal to a plus if we have b plus c in bracket. Now if we take any three integers, not associative. Suppose I take three values. What are the three values? Any three integers if I take. Suppose I take 2, minus 4 and 13. Okay. That means A is 2, B is minus 4, C is 13. So what does this say? Associative law say that A minus B minus C first I have to do. So if I do this, so it is 2 minus 4 minus 13. Then what will I get? 2 minus will become plus. So this becomes 6. Did you understand? Minus 13. So 6 minus 13 is how much? 6 minus 13 will be minus 7. The next thing which I should do, A minus B minus C. So now what is A? 2 minus 4. 2 minus 4 minus 13. So if I do this part, then it will be 2 minus 4 minus 13. You have to observe carefully, girls, otherwise you will have problem. Minus 4 and minus 13 is minus 17. So 2 minus will become plus. It will be plus 17, that is 19. Did you understand? Go through it properly once more. 2, I have just substituted the value since I have taken A as 2 minus. I've opened a second bracket because I wanted to put this minus 4 within bracket for your convenience. Minus 4 minus C I have taken as 13. So 2 minus, this is minus 4 and minus 13 is minus 17. So this becomes plus. So it is 2 plus 17, that is 19. So is it the same? You got to the result over here as minus 7 and you got to the result over here as 19. Okay. So we can see that A minus B minus C is not equal to A minus B minus C. The result is absolutely different. Did you understand clearly? Go through this video several times. I'll just do one or two questions. This is a very short exercise, exercise 1.2. It's a very short exercise, exercise 1.2. The first question, write a pair of integers whose sum is minus 3. Any integers you can take, any, so that the sum is minus 3. I can take it as minus 5, minus 5 and 2. If I add it up, minus 5 plus 2, the result is minus 3. I can take it as minus 8 and 5, then also the result is minus 8 plus 5, that is minus 3. Anything, any integer you take, the result should be minus 3. In the same way, the difference is minus 5. The difference between two integers is minus 5. So I can take it as difference is minus 5. So if the difference is minus 5, so see, minus 2 of minus 3. If I take the integers as minus 2 and 3, that means one integer is minus 2, the other integer is 3. So if I do minus 2 minus 3, the result is minus 5. Have you understood? Okay. Question number 2. Do it and see if you have understood. You should be able to do, because we have done like this question in exercise 1.1. Question number 3 also, find the sum of integers, we had done in exercise 1.1. So we've completed more or less this chapter. In the next class, we'll do multiplication of integers, but I feel that you should go through these laws properly, because these laws are also there in multiplication of integers. Clear? Thank you so much, girls, for today's class.